going on. So, yeah, it's been a busy morning already. Today is a training day.
You have to pinch me still.
I know.
Oh, gosh.
I know. So today's a training day. So we are actually here at our gym. Surprise, I'm not, in my car.
I always wonder how you drive and talk at the same time.
Oh, I have a car mount. So just drive and...
Yeah. I've got the car mount, too. We're Uber.
But yeah, totally. Good morning, Christy Joe. Good morning, Heather. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys are having a great morning so far. We're just going to wait a couple minutes to get a few more people on. And as you can see, we're here in our office at our gym. Super important. You totally got this. It's something you need to listen to and look at every single day because you can do it. So, good morning, Nicole. Nicole was one of the people that got pinched this morning for our contest. Week 1 in the books for our body fat contest.
Yay, good luck, Nicole.
Nicole, she's a competitor, so you better watch out.
Yeah. I've never won.
You will this time, maybe.
Yeah. Watch out, you guys. I'm coming for you. And I just learned something about your breath. Not your breath.
Oh.
Breath in general. I learn every day from her.
So you guys, I've known Jen for 4 years now?
Yeah.
4 years.
So yeah. Oh,
and she started out with me training. Good morning, Beth. Good morning, TJ. And we have become friends.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
I would consider us friends.
Okay, good.
Oh, yay.
Morning, Kim. So over the past few years, I've gotten to know her a lot better, and she deals with something on a regular daily basis and has for a really long time. And if you guys have noticed that I've been donating plasma or platelets lately, good morning, John, it is because of her. And I've always done blood donations way back in the day before I had Axel, and then I kind of had Axel where I couldn't donate, and then got tattoos, and then couldn't donate. So just started donating again, but actually donating platelets because I don't really know more about the whole plasma, and I've never ever done that. But Jen's going to give us a little insight of what she deals with on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. So what were you diagnosed with?
So 13 years ago, and I was diagnosed when I had my daughter, so when I was pregnant, and then I had my daughter, but I was diagnosed with something called Common Variable Immune Deficiency, or CVID. So I have a deficiency of my immune system. So basically, it's not autoimmune. It's basically I have a missing component of my immune system. So I do not have a fully functioning immune system. Mm-hmm. And I was the kid that was always sick. And then I went to college, and I'm the college kid that was always sick. And I went to nursing school, and then that's when it just went to town. I was always sick doing my rotations. And then I started working in the emergency room. And so you can imagine I was always sick then, but it wasn't until I got pregnant that my body just decided to shut down and kind of save the baby and then basically kill me. And so when I was pregnant, I was really sick and delivered my baby, and she's all good. But then I shut down, and so the doctors were like, that's not normal. Why is she essentially dying? And so couple of tests later, and they determined that I did not have a fully functioning immune system, and it's something I was born with. And the treatment is I get monthly IVs, and they're infusion of what's called immunoglobulin, and immunoglobulins are your body's essentially antibodies, and you get them from plasma donors. Mm-hmm. So when you go and you donate plasma, it's essentially the white cells, the protein component of plasma, and they take it from amazing donors, and then they put it into a drug form and give it back to me in an IV. So I have a nurse that comes to my house who's been with me for 10 years now, and she starts an IV, and I get the infusion, and it takes about 5 hours, and I do that every 28 days, and I've been doing that for 13 years, and I'll do it for the rest of my life. And
so when you get these infusions, you said once a month.
Yeah.
How, I know we have talked about that, but if we can tell everybody that's watching, good morning, Janine. Hi, Jackie. Good morning, Chris. I hope to see you in the gym soon. I know you told me, so how many plasma donors does it take for the infusion that you get once a month?
I think I read somewhere it's like 10,000 donors.
10,000 donors, you guys.
It's insane. And my drug alone, it costs almost $10,000 a month. And thank God for insurance. But my husband and I, we will be working for the rest of our lives. But it's definitely, it's from donors and people that literally give a piece of themselves that help someone like me. And it's crazy, and it's like I don't want to cry, and I'm a total ugly crier, but like I just had some Botox, so I can't physically ugly cry, so it's like you'll just see me be like, it's weird. But yeah, it's definitely been rough. It's definitely been rough. The first couple years was hard for me because, you know, you're given this diagnosis that essentially I had my first doctor tell me, you know, life expectancy is 10 to 15 years. And I was like, okay, I was 27. But now, you know, I get told, okay, with treatment, there's no cure, but with treatment, I can have a normal life, but there's a lot at the end.
Yeah, do you feel like you live a normal life now?
Yes and no. I still get pretty frequently, and as you know, during the fall I was sick from like October to December, and I had 4 rounds of antibiotics, and I was on like 5 different meds to get myself healthy again. But one of the biggest things that I feel has changed my life was honestly meeting you a few years ago. And I remember coming in just crying, and I was just like, I'm sick, I don't feel good, but what can I do? You know, I see doctors and I have treatment, but what can I do to help myself? And part of that was seeing you, and you really helped turn my life around. And so I thank you for that. But it's true, you know, it's like, what can you do for yourself? And, you know, instead of putting a blame on something, it's what can you do for yourself? And so I thought, okay, obviously diet and exercise, working out, and just trying to be, I always try to be positive. I never wanted to be the negative person, you know, I have this condition, it doesn't have me, but it took me a long time to get there. Yeah. And so I feel like I'm finally there sometimes. Sometimes I have ugly cry pity parties, but it's okay. Yeah. I
know last year before birthday time was a really rough one.
And I literally had a midlife crisis. So that was super fun. You got to witness that.
That's okay. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, that was a fun one. Yeah, I thank you for that.
So if I can just encourage everybody, I mean, Jen right here, she was born with that need for plasma donations, and there's a lot of places that you can donate plasma. So I think it's like I want to say like a 2-3 hour process. I've donated platelets before. It's kind of where, I don't want to say they take out like white blood cells. They take out like your platelets in your whole blood, and they give you your red blood cells back. But that's a long process too. But it's so worth it, because if you think about it, you're saving so many people's lives. Even with like my platelets donations, they tell me like, so it actually is to help, I think, clot your blood is what platelets are used for. And so they're great for surgeries and everything all the time. And, you know, for one donation can usually help like 3 people. So if you could get out there and get uncomfortable and get stuck with the needle and donate in any way, platelets, plasma, whole blood.
I get stuck every 28 days. I get stuck every 28 days. You guys can do it once. Yeah. It's super fun.
Yeah. And I know, like, even with platelets, you can donate platelets, like, every 7 days, but not more than 24 times a year. So even if you did it, like, twice, you know, the American Red Cross has, like, donation centers set up. And I believe if you're an AB, that one can be universal donations. So they're really focusing on trying to collect as many AB donations as possible, because those help all the different blood types. So
yeah, and then there's the Immune Deficiency Foundation, which I'm a big supporter of, which helps patients like me
Mm-hmm.
and family and with support. And I think it's primaryimmune.org. So you can go there too, and it has plasma donor centers that you can find in your area. So you can look up locally your plasma centers, and you can actually donate just the plasma.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you can't do, like you couldn't go donate and just give it to me because, you know, it has to come from a huge pool of people. And
I know. Unfortunately, my one person is not 10,000.
I know. But every little bit helps.
It does. And you guys, the reason why I brought her on is because, you know, I see her struggle when she drags herself into the gym right before she needs one of these infusions. Sometimes she does look like death. I'm not gonna lie, and she's we're cool like that. I can say that, but
I really do. There's times where like
she's pale and
okay?
sickly
like,
looking.
No, I'm about to have my infusion, and go easy on me today. But
yeah. But you know what? She doesn't cry wolf. She doesn't ask for any sympathy from anybody. She always comes in with a smile on her face for the most part. And this is when she posts like on all her social media, you had never any idea that she's going through this type of thing. She doesn't post herself hooked up to her, you know, needle and infusion, or like say the nurse is coming over, and she's just trying to live her best life. But this, I want to call it a disease or an illness or a
chronic
condition.
Yeah.
A condition where, you know, sometimes your body doesn't cooperate and doesn't function fully. And I think it's really important that we stay on top of our health, as well as, like, same thing, law of attraction, you know, constantly plug yourself into that good mindset and always, like, trying to have, you know, like, the good thoughts coming in all the time.
I always try to be positive because, like I was saying, like, it's a lifelong diagnosis, and I could definitely go into that dark hole, which I have in the past, but I have to keep a positive mind because otherwise I have no option. But kind of tagging on to your live video you did the other day about, you know, what you see on Instagram is not what you usually get in person, and that is fully me. I will fully post very happy, lovely things, or I'll post things of my husband and I or my daughter, and I do that for a reason because I don't want to go down that dark hole.
Yeah.
You know, other people, you know, kind of put up the front and they're trying to portray a certain personality of what they want people to perceive them. And I would say I'm partially that, but for me, it's just because I don't want to put out there what I view in my life as a negative thing that is honestly depressing. And so when I see the positive posts or I put out the positive posts, it helps me kind of get through, you know, my day. And then also too, you know, I have some really great friends that are super, super supportive, but I also have the ones that like checked out where they're like, I don't want to deal with this, you know?
Wow.
And that's tough. And it's like, I don't want to hear about it all the time. I don't want to deal with it. And I'm sure you guys all have that too, where you have those people that are the fair weather friends, and they're like, oh, I'll only be with you, you know, during the good times. And it's like, okay, when you have bad times, like, you've seen me.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you kind of find out who your real friends are when they see the real you. But if you don't portray that on Instagram, you know, and they only see what you're showing, the positive side, the happy stuff, oh, look what we're doing, look where we're traveling, it can get a little tricky.
Yeah.
But with this, I just choose not to put it out there because I try to keep positive.
Yeah.
You know, or otherwise I'll be a babbling mess all the time. It's like, ugh.
Yeah, even when we first started to talk about this conversation,
I was like, oh my gosh, I can't.
2 weeks ago when I first started talking about doing these videos every day, and I was like, hey, I would really love to have you come on. That just,
I almost
brought
started
it all
crying
up.
immediately. I was like, I can't. But I mean, I think also that's part of it. I think it's good for me too, is growth, you know? It's like, okay, I do need to face it and not be in denial, but you know, I can't change it. So,
yeah. So now you're just living your best days.
Yeah.
Right? You started your own little business. What's
I
that
did.
called?
This was part of my midlife crisis, my breakdown that I had last year. It's called the Tiny Umbrella. I should have brought some.
I know.
And this was also tagged onto your one, I think, yesterday about going into business on your own.
Yeah.
I was like, this is so me. But yeah, I design and manufacture cocktail umbrellas.
They are so cute, you guys.
Yeah.
We'll drop her Etsy
fun.
shop, her website, on the bottom of this video. You can check them out. But she has a ton of little umbrellas for all different occasions.
Yeah.
They are the best.
If you know me, I love all things tiki in Hawaii because that's my happy place. If I want to go somewhere, I just want to like, okay, when I die, spread my ashes on the sands under an umbrella with an umbrella drink. And
Nice.
so I decided one day I'm going to make them, and my husband thought I had a stroke. But I do. I design and manufacture my own product, and I import it, and I sell it, and I sell them on Etsy, and they're all over the world now. And
that's so
cool. It's really fun. It's
Yeah.
really fun. So check them out.
Yeah. I always think of her. She had this amazing birthday party last year. It was like all things like Hawaiian, and it was. Every time I think about her, I think about pineapples. Or even when I see pineapples out in the store or any kind of like pineapple related thing, which by the way, I saw some like tiki looking at pineapples. It was really cool.
Did?
Yes.
Ooh.
So,
Where?
so totally thought about her. But yeah, this is the reason why I do these things, you guys. It's because what you see on social media is don't try to live up to that person's life because you have no idea what they're going on inside. And, I try not to be, negative on these things, but I do want you to understand real life that you can make the best life of everything that you have and the situations that you have, whether they're bad, good, or things from your past. You just got to go out there and you got to fill yourself with positive daily things to push past all those negative things, because once those negative things fill your mind, they will take over your mind, body, soul, relationships, career, and then if you look at it, your life is in ruins. So that's why every morning, gratitude, affirmations, start with motivational speeches, plug in your earphones and just go to town. I do that every day, and I can tell you that it has made a huge difference for me and my mindset versus like getting up, turning on the TV or turning on music and, sipping on my coffee. So big things. And, I want everybody to have a great life and live their life to the fullest. So the only way they can do that is by being positive and being grateful and also understanding other people as well. So I love you guys. Thank you, Jen, so much for coming on today. It's time to pinch her for her body fat contest and then put her to work here at the gym. So tune in tomorrow for another Des Daily Dose at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. I hope you guys have a wonderful day today and happy hump day. All right, you guys, take care. Bye.